just want to ask you a few questions about greyhounds. You'd expect me to ask questions about greyhounds.
Yes.
Earlier this year in a question without notice, I asked about the $30 million allocated in 2018 for upgrading greyhound tracks across the state to new minimum standards. At that point, I understood that $18.2 million remained unallocated, with $11.9 million before the new budget in July. I asked then if you could assure the industry that all of the upgrade funding would be allocated for the last financial year, and if not, if the unallocated money would be rolled over to this financial year. Will it be rolled over?
So the good news is that the industry has moved forward with many of their business cases, and so a lot of that funding has now actually rolled out to start work on those important upgrades. I might hand over to Tarek to give you the specific figures about the rollover. My preference is that it is rolled over. The industry's shown now that they're in a position where they can actually do the work that needs to be done, and that is certainly my preference. But I'll just hand over to Tarek to tell you about how much is left.
Sure, thanks, Minister. So in June, the Minister approved funding for a number of projects, being Temora, the Gardens, Dubbo and Gosford, and funding agreements are now in place between the Department and Greyhound Racing New South Wales for those projects. There's business cases under consideration in relation to Richmond, Grafton and Goulburn. As to whether funds are rolled over, that's a question for the Treasurer, but I can tell you that to date, $18,677,387.
Sorry, could you just talk up a little?
Yep, sorry. So to date, $18,677,387 has been allocated to fund a range of projects. I think in total 36 across the life of the program, and there's about $11,492 left to be allocated to future projects that Greyhound Racing New South Wales submits to us.
So is of that 11 million, how much has been allocated, or is that just still to be allocated?
So of that 11 million, there's 6.794 allocated for this financial year. For the balance, whether that's rolled forward is really a question for the Treasurer.
Right, okay. So can you, and maybe you need to take it on notice, can you actually give us a dollar allocation for Lithgow, Temora, the Gardens, Dubbo and Gosford tracks?
I can do that now. So Lithgow was 3,272,150. Temora was 1,039,500. The Gardens was 1,128,000. Dubbo was 1,363,000. And Gosford was 168,000.
And in relation to Goulburn track, the straight track in Goulburn, how much has been allocated for them?
To the best of my knowledge, that's still under consideration, the Goulburn business case. Nothing's been allocated at this point, is my understanding, but if that's incorrect, I'll come back and correct it for you.
Yeah, if you could do that, please, that'd be great. We were told the Department of Creative Industries, Tourism and Hospitality and Sport continues to liaise with GR New South Wales on its other proposed grants program applications, as well as with New South Wales Treasury on allocation of funding of about $30 million capital grants program. Can you tell me which stakeholders the department is liaising with and how the department is working with them to achieve their outcomes?
Yeah, so I think the process is that Greyhound Racing New South Wales is the responsible body for developing the business cases. They are doing that in consultation with clubs, is my understanding. We can take that on notice and get that specifically for you. They then submit their business case for, I don't know if it's the right word, concurrence with GWIC, and then after that occurs, then it comes to the department for consideration and sign off, and then a deed is then signed for delivery of the particular project.
Yeah, okay, thanks for that. I'd be keen to get that when you can make it available. And finally, there have been continuous egregious claims made against the greyhound industry by individuals and organisations within New South Wales that there is at least one other state now, Tasmania of course, is facing a ban. In the past, you and the Premier have shown your support for the Greyhound Racing New South Wales breeders, owners and trainers. The industry creates almost 11,000 jobs and contributes $809 million in value to the state annually. GWIC is the most rigorous greyhound welfare organisation in the country, and the sport is clean and its participants treasure their animals. Minister, could you affirm your support of the industry now?
Yeah, so it is the clear policy of this government that greyhound racing will continue in New South Wales. Our job is to make it as safe for the animals that we possibly can, and that's what we're absolutely committed to doing.
Can you give us an update on the current status in relation to the movement of greyhounds from New South Wales overseas?
Might hand over to Mr. Tutt to do that.
For a greyhound to move overseas, there has to be a passport issued through Greyhounds Australasia. We at GWIC receive notifications from the federal agency, DAF, in relation to greyhounds that are exported, and we receive those on a regular basis, and we assess those when they come in to confirm that they're not exported to what is a prohibited country. We get those, as I said, on a regular basis. Most of them are part of the USA rehoming program.
Is the USA still currently the only country they're going to?
No, there's Canada, there's USA, and a couple of others that are part of the countries that GA permit passports. And that, just off the top of my head, be UK and those, a very limited number of countries.
Can you tell me how many greyhounds have been migrated in this fashion in the last 12 months? And to what countries they went?
No, not off the top of my head. I know that as far as that's their figures and data that's really held by DAF, the federal agency. GRNSW are responsible for the rehoming program in the USA, so they obviously keep data in relation to that. We do receive data from GRNSW, but as far as the precise number, I don't have that. But that, as I said,
yeah, well, you're not really responsible for that. But there's no one representing GR New South Wales here. Minister, could you take that on notice?
Yes.
Please?
Yep, for sure.
Particularly keen to know how many are going and where they're going.